Hello and welcome to the Garden of Black Roses. This is fanfiction. This is the next chapter of Yokai Tamer. Hope? Nope. League. Not Hope. League. Yeah. You'll get to understand about... Because I have had people don't comment, but I do get messages. So I have had some people ask me about why Kire had retrocognition. And those that have played Yokai Tamer have asked how Yuki and Tako could talk to each other, like, you know, werewolf style, like mind linking, or like telepathy. You'll find out maybe this chapter, maybe next chapter, what that's about. So it's a new addition to it. It's, again, imagination. Not something that's actually in the game. Although it would be interesting if it was. But it would be a bitch to, try and code. That's for sure. Alright. So, chapter 5. Ember sighed as she travelled through Nether. She had borrowed Darius's rhino, without his permission, so she could get through it quicker. She was amused that she had already killed Yotohime and Ibaraki Dojo with the help of the rhino, who threatened to gore the monsters if they so much as touched her. They didn't drop much that was useful other than perfect gems. She hoped Mori Baba would have something for Darius. The Nether bosses scared her. Nether girl more so than the other bosses in the area she was hunting in. While the first two were like kittens before Nether Candle, the last three that roamed here could easily eat her for breakfast. She bit her lip as she guided Darius's rhino to slowly creep up to where Mori Baba stood. She borrowed the rhino for more protection and security. Dari tends to ride his motorcycle more than his rhino, she reasoned with herself. I also left a note for him in case he was looking for him. She gave the rhino a little pat before sliding off his back and pulling Nether Candle from the sheath tucked in the saddle. She quietly stepped forward, trying to keep her laughter in when the plod, plod, plod sound of the rhino followed her as quietly as he could. Well, at least I can tell it's Dari's rhino and not Kire's. She put out her hand and the rhino stopped moving. Inching forward, she raised Nether Candle and leapt in for the kill. Behind her, she could hear a stampede of sound before the rhino appeared right at her side with his horns aimed at Mori Baba, causing the monster to back away from her. Yup. Definitely Dari's rhino. Won't listen to a word I say. The boss dropped nothing but a small scroll that she looked at curiously. Scrolls were rare finds and often held nuggets of information. She knows the League Library held many scrolls that members had found over the years. She leaned against the rhino and began to unroll it. Marital ties can cause strife when distance causes instincts to go haywire. A simple way for a pair to put their instincts at bay is creating a means of contact that is maintained during the time that is required. Ember stared at the scroll in confusion. Instincts? What are those? How are they related to being married to someone? She rolled the scroll back up and tucked it into a pouch on the rhino. I need to ask Snow Bunny about that when I get back. He and Tako have been married for so long that he would have come across what instincts are. Hopping up onto the rhino, she gave him another gentle pat. Let's go see if Brahma has anything for your master next, she said to him, before guiding him onwards towards the boss's usual hangout. Darius was frustrated. Ember kept avoiding him. She never returned to their room any more at night, and when he would go to search for her, he was unable to find her. Even her pets were unable to tell him where she was. His only hint was that his rhino was missing, and a note that read, "He's with me," with a little red heart. His instincts were screaming at him to go find her. It had been over a fortnight since they last had any sort of physical contact, and as the days began to increase, so did the volume of his instinct's voice. "I can remember feeling this agitated when Hanae left," he thought, as he stalked through the library. He needed answers about how to manage his instincts before they became all that he could hear. But it stopped after a while. Why isn't it stopping with Ember? He walked along the shelves, searching for information on marital books or marital bonds. He remembered there was a book he read before he married Hanae that explained to him how it worked, but because it had been so long since then, he had forgotten a lot of the information. He tapped the spines of the books as he read the titles. Baby Orbs 101, Rituals for Summoning, Wings of a Tengu, A Tale of Kitsune Skills. Where is it? He continued to skim the shelves until he found what he was looking for. Found it! Wings and Tails, a book of marital ties. Picking it up, he looked through the chapters until he found the one on instincts. Marriage between Kitsune and Tengu creates more than just a bonding of two individuals. Many instincts are unlocked. Some are unique to the couple, and some are generalized to all couples. Darius looked confused. Unique instincts? He continued to read. The most basic of instincts is awareness of your spouse. Awareness of where they are, if they're awake, asleep, awareness of their emotional status, awareness of their physical health. This instinct causes a passive instinct in physical attributes. Kitsune become more energetic and vibrant. Speed and evasiveness increases. Tengu, on the other hand, become stronger, being able to withstand more attacks and deal more damage. Darius smiled slightly. That explains how she becomes so bouncy after she wakes up. He continued to skim the page. It described more instincts, more basic instincts that he already knew about. He slowed down, reading carefully when he reached the information about separation. A consequence for a marital bond between Kitsune and Tengu is physical contact. Generally speaking, most couples are able to maintain their instincts to be in contact by sleeping together at night. Simple things such as holding hands and kissing also help to maintain the bond between the couple. When there is a separation, such as a spouse being unable to be near their significant other for a prolonged period of time, the instincts begin to try and force the pair back into contact with each other. Only when there is no way for the pair to be close to each other, in such cases where one of the pair has left the country or passed away, the gods will quieten the instincts and correct the imbalance created within the Kitsune or Tengu. Darius sighed. That doesn't help my current situation. It's not that I don't want to or that I can't get near her. It's that she's avoiding me. There have been instances where spouses with difficult or traumatic pasts have been able to shut down their instincts. Darius paused and stared at that sentence. Ember. He wondered if she was aware of her own instincts or even aware of what they were doing to him. In that case, the level of agitation and persuasion felt by the spouse may become unbearable before their partner recognizes the issue. He sighed and closed the book. I'll take this with me. It may be that I'll need it to unlock Ember's instincts again, so that this doesn't happen in the future. Provided she finally recognizes what is going on now. Getting up, he made his way out of the library. Maybe Yuki may be able to help me. Yuki and Takoyaki were sitting in the communal lounge when Darius finally found them. They offered him the small strawberry mochi that they were sharing as a snack when he came and sat with them. Instincts, Darius spoke softly. I know you two have been married for a long time, and you two would know your instincts better than anyone. I need help getting Ember to recognize hers. How is that possible? Takoyaki asked in surprise. There isn't a way that she can't recognize them. I know mine can be so loud when Yuki and I have an argument. Yuki nodded in agreement and looked confused. She has a bad past, he replied, causing both to stare at him in shock. You didn't know? No, they both replied. Takoyaki looked at Yuki with a raised eyebrow before hugging him. Your voice is back. Seems so, Yuki replied. He thought carefully for a bit before adding, if that's the case, then you'll need to talk her through hearing it. The more the two of you interact with your own instincts, the more likely the unique one will appear. I know it took a long time before the one Tako and I shared appeared. Your unique instinct? Darius asked. He couldn't think of what it could be, as they seemed like any other married couple. Ours manifested as a skill, Takoyaki explained. Telepathy. We can talk to each other without speaking out loud. Darius's eyes widened and understood now how Takoyaki was able to say what Yuki was thinking. So he was telling you exactly what he was thinking, and that's how you could tell us. Exactly, Yuki smiled. You need to get Ember to hear hers first by guiding her. I know you two have been avoiding each other, so once you find her, pin her down until you get through to her exactly what is going on for you. Yuki gave a very sly smile. I mean, you would pin her down a lot before you two had this episode. Takoyaki gave Yuki a playful smack, and Darius let out an exasperated breath. Well, I'm sure you pin Tako down as well. A lot. Hard not to when they are so enticing at times. Yuki laughed, earning another smack from Takoyaki. Either way, until you catch Ember, try focusing on communicating with your own instincts. You may find that it is a really good guide on how to communicate with Ember. Ember once again was travelling through illusory ghostdoms seeking materials. She knew she was running out of time. She could sense Darius's agitation levels growing, and the longer she took, the stronger the feeling within her grew. She had also started to hear a small voice in her head. It was sad, crying for its partner. Ember had never had this before and couldn't understand why it sounded so sad. The sooner I get this done, the sooner I will be able to go back to him, she thought, as she leapt into a fight with another boss. Soon, Nether Candle met another weapon and she came to a jarring halt. No! No! everything faded to black. And that's it. So, for those that didn't catch it, I wanted to add something interesting to make the story a bit more interesting, and also for the next scene to work. So, when a kitsune and a tengu, or two tengu or two kitsune marry each other, the marital bond creates a unique skill. A skill that's unique to only the pair and not anyone else. It kind of... I don't know. It's kind of like when in the game when you get a baby and you get all the baby skills like ray gun and that. But before you have the baby, you don't have the skills. Hopefully that makes sense. If you don't play the game, it won't make sense whatsoever. Anyway, in order to get extra skills, you have to do one thing to get them. You know, that's the idea. So getting married gives you this extra skill. Anyway, yeah, I wanted to make it so that Ember couldn't sense them because of her past. So we'll make it for an interesting story. Anyway, I will see you in the next one. And as always, let your imagination run wild. Bye for now.